There's only one that can do what Caitlin Clark did. Bring all those eyes for pure basketball purists.
Ever notice how some WNBA stars seem to bristle at the mere mention of Caitlin Clark? It's almost as if they're allergic to her incredible success, especially with Clark consistently dominating the spotlight with her remarkable achievements.
The court, what she did, and I don't know if you saw, Indiana Fever yesterday posted this clip of Caitlin, and the caption was just her accolades, and it took 5 minutes to read, and I'm like, girl, do you want to chill at all? She doesn't know how.
Zero. And listen, I think this is probably the easiest decision to make. Right?
From being Time's Athlete of the Year and Forbes' 30 Under 30 to earning SBJ's Business Athlete of the Year and AP's Female Athlete of the Year, Clark's awards keep soaring. The WNBA's social media is giving off X vibes, like they forgot to invite you to the party. Why the silent treatment? And what's with some veterans turning green with envy? In this video, we'll uncover Caitlin Clark's record-breaking feats, their significance for women's sports, and why the WNBA, and some jealous stars, just can't seem to face the reality of her rising stardom. Ready? Let's dive in.
And it all happened so fast, like it's hard to appreciate in the moment.
That is Iowa native and Indiana Fever star, and now Time's 2024 Athlete of the Year, Caitlin Clark, looking back at a whirlwind year.
You know how some rookies make a splash? Well, Caitlin Clark just caused a tsunami in the WNBA. And
Some rookies make a splash, but Caitlin Clark created a tsunami in the WNBA, and the aftershocks are undeniable. Her rookie season was nothing short of extraordinary, averaging 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. But that's not all. She led the league in assists and three-pointers made, showcasing elite-level performance. Along the way, Clark shattered an astonishing 62 records, cementing her place as a true game-changer in women's basketball. Let's break it all down.
So many records she broke, not only in college, not only her rookie season. So much has been accomplished for the Indiana Fever. They broke the WNBA home attendance for a single franchise. I mean, I believe the Mystics and the Fever game was the most viewed WNBA game ever in history, single game attendance. So just so many things have happened in such a short amount of time on the back of Caitlin.
Here's where it gets fascinating. Caitlin Clark's impact off the court has been just as groundbreaking. WNBA merchandise sales soared by an astounding 500% during her debut season. That's not a typo. It's like Clark cast a spell, making everyone want a piece of the WNBA. But it's more than just jersey sales. Her presence has transformed the league, driving record-breaking viewership, skyrocketing attendance, and expanding the WNBA's reach to new audiences. Clark isn't just a star. She's a game-changer reshaping the league's entire landscape.
I've never, ever seen somebody in this way capture an audience, capture a new audience, and be able to absolutely attribute real numbers and statistics to their popularity, right?
Yes.
19 million people watching, and certainly watching the national champion.
Sports economists are taking note, with Thea Laviel dubbing Caitlin Clark a lightning rod for women's basketball. Her impact is so significant. She's being compared to Michael Jordan in transforming and elevating the sport's stature.
Talk about ceilings a lot, but she created a new floor.
Yeah.
So now we're going to look back. Even if it doesn't hit the numbers that it hit this season, the expectation is much higher. The interest is generally much higher. The investment is much higher.
Let's dive into the numbers. Caitlin Clark's impact is estimated to have generated a staggering $36 million for Indianapolis alone, enough to grab the attention of team owners and city officials. But here's the kicker. Her influence extends far beyond the WNBA. Laviel predicts professional women's basketball will see its combined value soar by $1.6 billion in the next 3 years. Yes, that's billion with a capital B. What does this all mean? Caitlin Clark is more than just a talented basketball player. She's a game-changing phenomenon. On and off the court, she's attracting new fans, driving economic growth, and reshaping the sports landscape. In short, she's the superstar the WNBA has been waiting for, revolutionizing the league in ways we've never seen before.
The longest time the WNBA has been trying to get on this global scale, and I feel like that's the direction they are finally headed. I think that WNBA fans have always been proud supporters and pushers of the advancements of this league, but sometimes it takes a certain star of a certain caliber to really just expand and explode the league from the inside out, and that's what Caitlin Clark.
But here's the twist. Not everyone is excited about this rookie sensation. Some in the WNBA world seem to struggle with adjusting to the new normal. Why? Well, that's a whole other can of worms we're about to unpack.
Going to cut down 22-year-old Caitlin Clark, who has single-handedly changed the game, brought in millions of other young fans, old fans. How about the ratings in college basketball for her? Record ratings. And now in her very short WNBA career, shattering records. Isn't that a win for everybody?
Imagine being the biggest star in your league, breaking records left and right, only for your own organization to act like you don't even exist. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, welcome to Caitlin Clark's reality in the WNBA. Let's be honest for a moment. When a rookie comes in and dominates like Clark has, it's typically cause for a celebration in most professional sports leagues. Think about the NBA and how they've hyped up their generational rookies. LeBron James, Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, and Victor Wembanyama. These players were everywhere, on social media, in league promotions, and treated like royalty from the start.
What are we doing and why? Please stop. Let's celebrate Caitlin Clark, celebrate her greatness, celebrate her courage to keep pushing through.
But when Caitlin Clark was named Associated Press Female Athlete of the Year, a huge honor, by the way, the WNBA's response? A simple retweet. No congratulations, no special recognition, just a cold, emotionless share. Talk about a lackluster reception. Now, compare that to how the WNBA celebrated Candace Parker when she won the same award a few years ago. They went all out, posting a dedicated tribute to her achievements and showing genuine pride. So, what's the deal? Why the different treatment for Clark?
Caitlin Clark, you go, girl. Don't listen to these people. Keep going strong. Most of us are normal and have your back.
It's not just about one award. Caitlin Clark has been collecting accolades left and right, yet the WNBA's social media has been eerily silent. No hype videos, no congratulatory posts, nothing. It's almost as if the league is deliberately ignoring her immense success. What's truly shocking is that fans are noticing, and they're not pleased. People are questioning why the league isn't capitalizing on Caitlin Clark's popularity. She's bringing in new fans, boosting merchandise sales, and creating massive buzz. Any other league would be celebrating her. So, what's behind this? Jealousy, resentment. Are there internal politics at work that we don't know about? Whatever the cause, something feels off. The WNBA's silence is telling, raising concerns about how they treat their star players. And if you think the league's response is odd, wait until you hear about some of Clark's teammates. Apparently, some WNBA veterans aren't too happy about sharing the spotlight.
Little girl wants to grow up and play in a league where you're targeted like that. How do you sit here and profess and demand that everyone take women's sports seriously when you can't even take it seriously enough to not act like a junior high queen on the court? It's stupid. That's so dumb. It looks like a soap opera.
You'd think professional athletes would rise above petty drama, right? Well, think again. The green-eyed monster has made its appearance in the WNBA, and it's targeting none other than Caitlin Clark. But who's leading this not-so-subtle shade parade? Let's be honest. Professional jealousy in sports isn't new. It's been seen in every major league, from the NFL to the NBA. However, the way some WNBA veterans are responding to Clark's success is on another level. Take Aja Wilson, for example. She's a 3-time WNBA MVP, so you'd expect her to be secure in her own greatness. But that doesn't seem to be the case. In a Time article, Wilson couldn't resist throwing some shade Clark's way. She questioned the criteria behind Clark's recognition, suggesting that her accolades might not be entirely performance-based.
Aja Wilson is her name. Quote, "It doesn't matter what we all do as black women. we're still going to be swept underneath the rug. That's why it boils my blood when people say it's not about race, because it is.
Really, Aja? That's the path you want to take? But wait, there's more. Wilson reportedly turned down a lucrative offer to join the unrivaled league. Sources claim she was offered more money than Clark. And guess what? This info conveniently leaked right after Clark declined the same offer. Coincidence? I think not. It's almost like Wilson's trying to say, hey, look at me, I'm still relevant too.
You see how many people showed up to watch Caitlin Clark play golf? With actual attention, economics at play, Caitlin's participation in any league has an existential bearing. Nobody outside of Asia herself cares about whether Asia shows up.
Here's the kicker. Nobody even asked Aja Wilson about it. She made sure to leak the info less than 24 hours after Clark declined the offer. Talk about trying to steal someone's thunder.
It's crazy because literally nobody asked, and sources close to Aja Wilson decided to answer anyway.
Then there's Angel Reese, the LSU star who's been trying to match Caitlin Clark's popularity since their NCAA showdown. Reese seems on a mission to remind everyone that women's basketball isn't all about Clark. In her own words, she's making sure her voice is heard.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize.
Talk about feeling threatened. Even sports commentators are picking up on the jealousy vibe. Skip Bayless called out Angel Reese's post-game remarks, suggesting they hinted at a bit of jealousy and bitterness toward Caitlin Clark. Ouch. But the award for the most unexpected shade goes to WNBA legend Cheryl Swoops. You'd think she'd be all about supporting the next generation, right? Well, nope. Swoops publicly questioned the criteria for Clark's Time Athlete of the Year award, suggesting players like Aja Wilson deserved similar recognition. Come on, Cheryl. There's enough spotlight to go around.
Cheryl, I'll start with you. What's your reaction to Caitlin Clark winning Time Magazine Athlete of the Year?
I don't think I'm surprised. I'm curious to know who the other candidates were.
Here's the issue. This behavior isn't just petty. It's potentially harmful to the league as a whole. The WNBA is at a critical point in its growth, with Caitlin Clark attracting new fans and media attention. Instead of leveraging this momentum, some of the league's biggest names seem more focused on playing high school mean girls.
Aja Wilson in there.
That was just basketball.
So that's what I'm saying. Was it just the performance on the court, or
No, it's global. It's like, I think it's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Consider this. How does all this look to new fans, potential sponsors, or young girls dreaming of playing in the WNBA? It's not a good image. This internal drama could seriously harm team chemistry and the league's growth. So what's next in the Caitlin Clark era for the WNBA? Will the veterans accept her success, or will jealousy continue to run wild? One thing is clear, the drama is spilling off the court. While players throw shade, the fans might be the ones to suffer.
That's all I see. They try so long to get respect for women's basketball, and then they treat it like a junior high school girl's locker room. Junior high school girl antics on the...
Speaking of getting burned, it's not just the players causing a stir in the WNBA world. The media's coverage of Caitlin Clark has been fascinating, to say the least. Ready to dive in? Picture this. A rising star shattering records, and yet, while half the sports world cheers her on, the other half looks on suspiciously. Welcome to the bizarre world of Caitlin Clark's media coverage, where praise and criticism collide in unexpected ways. Let's be real, sports media isn't always the paragon of objectivity, but the way Clark's story is being told feels like two different narratives playing out at once. On one hand, non-WNBA outlets are practically fawning over her, celebrating her record-breaking stats, game-changing impact, and how she's shaking up the sport.
Time Magazine names Iowa's Caitlin Clark Athlete of the Year. Clark follows Lionel Messi, Aaron Judge, and Simone Biles. No unbiased person sees this as a controversial choice.
But switch over to WNBA-specific media, and the tone changes dramatically. It's as if they're watching a completely different player. Instead of celebrating her accomplishments, there's skepticism, with constant questioning of the criteria, almost as if they're searching for reasons to downplay Clark's impact.
You look at, and I don't know who all the others are. I think you said some names. I don't remember everyone who was on the list. So I don't know if this applies to all, but a lot of what I saw for people is she hasn't won anything. And I think like some of the others have won a championship, or the U.S. women's national team, whatever they won in the year that they got the.
What's really wild? This divide in coverage isn't just about different opinions. It's creating two separate narratives about the same player. Mainstream.
What's really wild is that this divide in coverage isn't just about differing opinions. It's creating two separate narratives about the same player. Mainstream media is all about the Caitlin Clark effect, celebrating how she's boosting ratings, ticket sales, and interest in women's basketball. On the other hand, WNBA insiders seem more focused on comparing Clark to established stars like A'ja Wilson, often suggesting her popularity isn't fully earned. What's behind this negative coverage? Is it about protecting the status quo, fear of change, or a misguided effort to balance the mainstream hype? Whatever it is, it's confusing for fans following her journey. The real question is,
what I will say is I hope there's only been 2 basketball players. So I hope that they will continue to look at, like, you know, the league, the WNBA.
How does this media maze affect public perception of Caitlin Clark and the WNBA as a whole? Are we missing out on celebrating a generational talent because some can't look past their own biases? And what does this mean for the future of women's basketball? One thing's for sure, the Caitlin Clark story is far from over, and how it's told could shape the league for years to come. What a ride, right? Clark's success isn't just reshaping the WNBA, it's flipping the whole script. But with great success comes great jealousy, apparently. So, what's next for the WNBA in the Caitlin Clark era? Will the league embrace its new superstar or keep playing this weird game of hide and seek with her achievements? One thing's for sure, the ball's in their court now, and how they play it will determine the future of women's basketball for years to come. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.